Right, welcome back to AO Plastering Rendering. Today I'm going to be showing you this job that I've recently completed. It's one of the biggest projects I've took on. So originally when I came to the job, it was only the RTEC ceilings doing, so every single ceiling in this house is RTEC. Some patterns are bigger than others, some of them are, not a big pattern on it, but then the homeowner decided they wanted to have an entire electrical rewire, so the electricians have been in, and I priced them up for the electrical rewire, and yeah, so did the entire rewire. So yeah, in this video it's just going to be showing you the process of getting the electrical rewire done, and then on a part 2 we're going to be going through the ceilings. So yeah, as you can see, the house was quite colourful, which is understandable why the homeowner wants to completely renovate. Also, the window fitters came in too, so I had to do some more patches with that. But yeah, there's my SBR in the walls. This is hard wall. This is the plaster we're going to be using for the backing coat. You use this on masonry and brickwork. So just lift that bit up at top, and then you can use it as a handle straight into the water. Yeah, just make sure to wear a dust mask when you're doing this. As you can see, it's quite dusty. I've recently started wearing a FFP3 dust mask. You can't get anything through that. It's really fitted to your face, But yeah, definitely wear one of them, because I've recently come to realise that it's actually very important. It just makes your chest all wheezy and stuff if you don't wear it. But yeah, that's the consistency you're looking for when you mix your plaster. Just get your bucket trowel and scrape around the edges. Make sure to stop the whisk when you do this, because if your bucket trowel catches in that, yeah, you'll probably break your wrist. It definitely stop your bucket trowel. But yeah, go around all the edges. Yeah, getting got on the mixer there. Yeah, go around the edges and just get all the loose and excess plaster off the edges, and then give another mix, and there you go. That should be the mix. With hardwall, you want to mix up nice and thick, though. You don't want it runny, unlike finishing plaster, because you want it to have a bit of something to it, so it doesn't sag.
Before you plaster, obviously, look, dry plaster. Yeah. That'll dry it out, so a bit of water before you start. You don't want it soaking, so scrape the excess off. Get a bit of plaster, as so, right? Just get it off. Right, now you want to butter your hand off, and that'll stop it sliding off. So I'll go over to one of the chases now. You want to make sure it's properly filled. If it's not filled, then it'll just sand. And that should do. That you can tell is now flush. But you want to make sure that they're really filled. So if I just do this right, and then it'll look like it's filled it, but it hasn't.
And the same process here, really. So yeah, this wall was completely out of level. Usually when you scrape up like that with your trowel, it should all come off, besides the where it's actually gone into chase. But yeah, these walls were completely off level, and that's why it's like leaving all the excess on the sides, because that wall is not flush with that angle bead on the side. But yeah, I'm just taking my time there, because the electricians have decided to second fix. I don't know why, but they have, and it just makes my job harder, but part of the job, I guess. That's what the electrician decided to do, so I got to work around it. And yeah, anyway, just going in neat, trying not to get plaster all over that socket, and also being careful with my trowel, because there's no trunking over them cables, so you definitely don't want to be nicking one of those wires, because they are live. Yeah, hardwall or bonding doesn't like when you go down. It only likes when you go up on it, so it's a bit hard, especially when there's a socket there on that lower bit that we're doing, but I managed to get it. Now doing this lower part. As I said, it definitely doesn't like when you go down. So just make sure you go up. You can bang your load in from the side like that, but you don't want to like go in from it from the side, because you need to roll it upwards to level it out with the wall. You can apply it side to side as long as you've got quite a lot on your trowel, but yeah, you always need to go up. You know, I'm trying to be neat as I can to that skirting board there. It's got a bit on the skirting board, but my labourer always has his microfiber on him, so as soon as I'm finished, we're getting him to clean up after me. Clean up around all the excess stuff on the walls, just so it's nice and neat. Making sure it's completely filled out. As I said, the walls are level, so that's why it's leaving all the excess stuff. But that's not the finishing coat, so once I've wiped it down, it won't really matter. You'll never see the blend when I've applied finishing plaster over it.
Yeah. I like to go up, so it can be a bit tricky when doing that, but yeah.
Here it is after I've applied the hard wall in the first room. I think I also applied it in two other rooms, but yeah, as I said, I've got my labourer to go around wiping around the excess, which looks nice and neat now, and when I'm applying my finishing plaster, all the excess stuff isn't really going to get in my way, so I can really get a nice smooth finish ready for sanding down. So I am going to be using easy fill. You can use multi-finish, but I wanted a really high quality job, you know, because easy fill you can sand, and I get the ideology of that from tape and joint. You know, like Americans and stuff do that. You know, it's just plasterboard and they've taped the joints, but they sand it down and it looks like a completely flat wall. So that's where I'm going from, you know, because finishing plaster, when the light hits, especially in a room like this where there's like 4 or 5 windows, then if a certain light hits it, you'll see it. So that's why I've decided to use easy fill, so it can be sanded. And there's these vents. I really struggled to get these out. They were completely stuck in the wall, and it took me a long time to deal with it. I think this is day 2. I got the labourer to remove all the covings because the electricians had damaged them. So originally the homeowner wanted me to take them all down, but I told him that it's probably not worth it because those edges haven't been done properly. A lot of the time when you're just going to get covered, the plasterers would like leave the edge and not finish it properly. So with a reskim, there's only so much I can do. My plaster is realistically only as good as the background behind it. So I told him it's probably not worth it. So took him down in the bathroom and in that room. Here I am using the easy fill. Just trying to go as thin as possible. This is the only first fill. You don't want to be applying it as neat as you can, but it doesn't really matter because it will be getting sanded down. But especially it wants to be applied neat on this first coat because you will be going over the second coat. So it doesn't matter if it's not perfect, it just needs to be flat, basically. And then just covering all the surface of the hardware. You don't need to go too further out with this. Just cover what you can, make sure it's flat. It doesn't matter about lights because if you can just scrape them off with your trowel. Yeah. Couldn't get in there, so I'm using this tiny little pointing trowel. As I said, because this can be sanded, it doesn't matter. That's the thing with multi-finish. Like with multi-finish, I'd struggle to get a nice finish there in such a tight area. But with easy fill, as long as you've applied it, you can sand it, so it doesn't really matter. And there's the first fill. You can see I've not gone too wide on it. Just mainly filled out the like chase, so it's completely flush to the wall now. And another little tricky area, which, you know, with this pointing tool I just showed you, it's kind of hard to do a good job with them because they're so flimsy and small. So a little trickier. It's not ideal, but you got to do what you got to do. The client wanted to remove the radiator himself, so we didn't remove the radiator. So best thing to do in a tricky little area, if none of your trowels fit, is get a credit card. Make sure obviously it's not a credit card to use. That was my BP card. You know, I don't really get my petrol from BP, so I just thought I might as well use it. And it gets the job done neat enough, to be honest. Definitely neater than what the pointing tools would be. So, yeah. Just smoothing it out. As I said, it doesn't matter because it's going to get sanded down anyway. It just wants to be as neat as you can. There you go. Looks far better than what the pointing trowel would do. And here it is after I've second filled everywhere. All this will be getting sanded down, and when you apply paint over that, you'll never see it. I think it took me first day to go to run through the house with the hard wall, and then it took me a day for the first and second fill of all the electrical chases. So in total, it took me 2 days for all the electrical rewires. So there was all the vents to do still, and there was all the ceilings in. And a couple things happened. You know, one of the ceilings leaked, so I had to actually repair one of the ceilings before I skimmed it. I literally didn't even know. I knew there was a water leak, and I just thought it got sorted. I didn't know the ceiling was damaged. But I was just applying plaster, and I was like, this doesn't feel right. Like, why is my plaster not going on properly? It was so off level. And I literally I got my hand and I put it through the ceiling. I was like, oh, that's why. Because the ceiling will come in now. But yeah, these vents were an absolute nightmare. They would not come out. I had to buy a crowbar. They wouldn't come out. And yeah, I actually decided to bash them in and then use expanding foam to fill them, and then a bit of hard wall and then multi-finish on top of them, and I blended that in nicely. It came out nice. But yeah, the next video will be I'll be showing all the ceilings. So yeah, if you need any work doing in the Doncaster area or South Yorkshire area, I do have a contact form in my bio, so make sure to check that out. And yeah, thanks for watching.